Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
We don't even like children.
What'd you say, Jenny?
We don't even like children.
You don't. I had some good ones. Although I am glad that my youngest ones are in college now, so I don't have to worry about them anymore.
But once they get into teenagers, they get a little bit tough and gamey.
Yeah. Well, I always said that I'm good with animals and small children. Teenagers and adults, not so much. But I had asked one time on Twitter, that as far as atheists eating babies, what was the cutoff line? And about the only valid response I got was, as long as they're not too big to stuff them in the oven.
As long as they're not wiggling when you pitchfork them.
Oh, there was a really off-color joke about that. I can't quite remember the setup.
Dump truck full of dead babies, pitchfork. How do you determine a live baby from a dead baby? Shove the pitchfork in. Dead baby, live baby. So you have to see the hands shaking.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we try addressing the topic here first?
We have a topic?
Yeah, it's Good Hair Day.
No, it's not. I don't have good hair.
I've never had good hair. Fuck
no,
that.
I don't either. Mine is all, just so fine and brittle. It's hard to do anything more than put in a ponytail.
Well, we failed on that.
Yeah. Sloth Girl used to braid it for me. I'm no good at braiding it myself.
It's my grandma's on my dad's side fault.
I'm fighting with hair horns lately.
It's
annoying.
She presented me for life crappy, light, skinny, breakable, unstylable hair, fat.
Let's see, in the side chat we got Randall, and we had Greg Hartwick there before we started. Oh, hey Molly.
Hello. Nope. And we got 4 watching. So that's basically our entire people watching that are in the side chat. Well, 5 watching now. So people are starting to slowly come in.
Yeah, well, a lot of people tend to wander in late, and in my experience, YouTube generally doesn't give me the notifications until about a half an hour after something has started. Which is really useful for the 15-minute premieres.
Yeah. Well, it's a notification that you're late.
Well, they don't need to do that. That's redundant. I'm always late.
Well, they just want you to know who you are.
Yep. Well, I'm sure that I will even be late for my funeral. Not that I plan on attending anyway.
When I die, I'm going to pay the hearse driver $50 to stop in the middle of the trip to the cemetery, and then wait till everybody gets there, and then come in. So I'm going to make a grand entrance one last time.
Well, if I have a coffin, which I probably won't, I'd go with one of those little laughing toys and stick that in the coffin.
Yeah, I want somebody to hire a ventriloquist to sit in the front row and respond to everybody who goes up to the casket.
That was in Toys, by the way. I don't know if you ever saw the movie.
Mm-mm.
It's Robin Williams. It starts off with well, Robin Williams is son of this toy maker, and the father had died, so they're doing this funeral. Well, and while they're burying him, he has this thing that's this laughing toy. So you just hear from the coffin, ha 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 ha, this all the time.
Yeah, you know, I think I should pay the hearse driver to go through the Arby's drive-through. Leave the whole funeral procession through the drive-through.
And glue a quarter pounder to the top of the thing, whatever that is, coffin. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, embalm me with the Arby's sauce, huh?
There you go.
Ouch. Ouch.
I'm sure that Arby's sauce couldn't bomb somebody.
Oh, I love that stuff. I see it now in the grocery store, and I'm wondering if it's actually going to be the same that way.
I've not seen it. If I see it, I'll have to get some and find out. Because I got an
What's
Arby's.
that?
I got an Arby's near me, so I can compare.
The Arby's sauce. Yeah, I used to go in there with an empty bottle and just fill up a bottle from the dispenser. Because I put that stuff on all sorts of stuff. You know, I'd do that. I'd put it on all of my sandwiches for weeks.
Ah, that was a nasty cough.
So, how is everybody? Yeah, that's a good question.
Coughing a little bit this morning, but it seems to be coming out. Working on some songs, some old songs from the slave era, the Cotton Eye Joe and Swing Low Chariot.
Yep.
I think I got that one down.
Swing low, sweet child, come for to carry me home.
Yeah, that song.
So we have Molly the Great.
Well, you're great. I'm just okay.
Yep. Well, how about your Molly?
She's good. She's a good doggo.
Yep.
She better than Elon Musk?
Oh, well, that's not really a comparison now, is it?
No, I think it's fair to compare him to a dog.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Did you hear?
How fair is that to a dog?
Well, very fair. The dog will win. Hands down.
Did you hear that all of the Cybertrucks are being recalled?
Yeah.
Because the adhesive they used is coming apart and they could shed parts while driving on the highway.
Uh-huh. That's no worse than the power of the battery going through the skin of the body.
Yeah, well, no, this is worse because this means that they're a hazard to every driver on the road.
No, not
that if
really.
the vehicle in front of you starts dropping off pieces of steel,
that little strip that it is will mangle the first tires that roll over it. It's just a molding. It's
okay.
not
I thought it was a
structural at
larger
all.
piece.
No, it's just a skinny little molding that runs from the bottom of the windshield up to the roof, into the back, just past the door and window.
Okay. The news reports I saw weren't that specific about it. But yeah, it's stuff like this is why they're not allowed to sell them in Europe.
Well,
the EU says they don't meet minimum safety requirements.
We probably should stop picking on Ellen though. I mean,
I'll stop picking on him when he stops cutting all the government services.
Yes.
And pronounces his daughter's name correctly.
Yeah, well, that's why I refuse to call it anything but Twitter until he, stops misgendering his own daughter.
Well, his daughter's looking pretty damn good for a dead bitch. Her own TikTok video.
He said she's dead to him or something like that.
he said we'll use son and was dead, and the response was the TikTok. I believe it was a TikTok video where she was doing this thing with the over voiceover garbage where they were saying look pretty good for a dead bitch. I'm trying to find it now.
I've watched her on TikTok a few times. She seems like a very nice person.
Yeah. Well, I don't watch TikTok, so I haven't seen her lately.
I was kind of hoping she'd come over to Blue Sky.
She's probably there. I mean, she's young. She's a tech savvy person. I did a stupid thing.
What this time?
I lost my brand new necklace.
Oh.
It was on me, and then it wasn't on me anymore. And I have no idea where, when, or nothing. I didn't feel a thing, didn't hear a thing.
I had that happen with a bracelet that Soft Girl made for me. That somewhere during the day I must have caught it on something and it fell off.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is I had my brand new ring on the cord with the rings. So we lost my ring too.
Oh, shit.
So I figure the universe just does not want me to own any jewelry. If the first pieces I buy get taken away by the ether.
Yep. That made me think of this cartoon. I love this one. Son, you are dead to me. Thanks for accepting me for who I am, Dad.
I was actually thinking of having doing a meme where you have Elon Musk saying, "I have no son," and have the caption of the video Vivian, and that's right, bitch.
Oh, okay. So mommy and Aunt are here.
Okay, there. I comb my hair just for the show. Isn't it gorgeous?
It's reminding me that I've
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah. I've got to help Petunia out.
Here's the article I found on basically what the Musk said. When people really is it. This is some other stuff. But anyway, let's get down to the good stuff. This is Vivian's response. Father.
I look pretty good for a dead bitch.
Vivian after one thing dead and was killed by the woke mind virus.
Yeah, the stupid old conservatives. I have how many people we got in here now? Let's know. We got.
Yeah. Did you also hear about that? That they're trying to make Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
A mental case. So they're trying to legislate the DSM to start with.
Yeah, that's nonsense. They can't do it.
Yeah. Well,
the only way they can do it is if the publishers or authors or owners of it crumble.
Yeah.
What bothers me more is that he wants to change the name of Washington, D.C. to a Washington District of America.
No, I didn't heard that one.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Yeah, but with the Trump derangement syndrome, what it looked like he was trying to do is that would give the government the ability to institutionalize anyone who said something unflattering about Trump.
Well, yes. Yeah, that's been their plan all along. You and I are going to be in a camp.
Oh. That's good news. Nibbler is one of Molly's cats, and they really thought they were going to lose him a couple of weeks ago, but they were able to do a procedure to save him.
Oh, that's good. Named after the Futurama character Nibbler, or?
I believe so.
Oh. Well, we already have stuff to talk about here?
I have something I wanted to talk about, but I really wanted to have a bigger audience before I spill it.
Okay.
So if we can just stake it for a while. I need as many people as possible to hear this so that it can be the allies that they say they are.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see here. How about the...
Well, we're up to 9 people here. Oh, okay. No, Molly say was named Nibbler because he nibbled the subway off my husband's fingers when we went to pick him up.
Yeah. Good.
Why did your husband have a train on his fingers? But
hopefully no one reads this straight and across from left to right. Ain't like I did. You matter. Don't give up. You don't matter. Give up.
yeah.
Either way.
Well, see, how you read it depends whether you're a liberal or a conservative.
Yeah, if you're a liberal, you can read it with in any word sequence, and it'll all be pronounced right and spelled right, and all that stuff. And MAGA can't pronounce any of it.
Pessimist or optimist?
MAGAs are so dumb they can't even spell ABC.
Yep. Well, the pessimist says the glass is half empty. The optimist says the glass is half full. The engineer says the vessel is twice as large as required.
Scientist says it's completely full, just of different compounds.
Yep. So, Mommy, why would you want to wear it? I guess it's kind of a safety thing, huh? Yeah, actually, I have great hair on me. I've always had a thing about hair. You know, that's so I have great envy for a lot of the women that I watch on YouTube. Just thinking I wish I had their hair. And actually, for me, brushing out a woman's hair can be foreplay. I just.
So, do you brush yours out before you masturbate? You don't have to answer that.
Anti-vax movement and spreading. Your things are a curious species. They are intelligent enough to invent vaccines, yet dumb enough not to use them.
Yeah. Okay, well, Beep, 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 sorry, I'm slow at this, but
We know.
if we've got nothing else, I'm just gonna throw some random memes up.
That's what I'm doing.
This is one Sloth Girl sent me. Why do people in Athens hate getting up early? Because dawn is tough on Greece.
Yep, we gotta do something about that purple.
Like I say, it was a joke Sloth Girl sent me. So you've got to respond to it with a sloth. Oh, hey, Commander. And Claire.
Oh, we got cute doggies.
Yep, cute puppo having fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
and we forget someone. Magid Ralph.
What?
Some new person here. Magid Ralph off.
Hi, Claire.
Big drink.
Oh.
Well, I'm not going to wait any longer.
Okay.
Apparently, my Medicare insurance for drugs has been dropped.
Hmm.
And my medication I went to pick up today, they wanted $2,500 for.
Shit.
So I don't know how long I can go without my medication. We'll find out.
Yeah, they're screwing up everything. I got a notice saying that my Medicaid was canceled for not returning some recertification forms. And the front page on the packet of recertification forms says I need to return them by April 1st.
Say again?
I got a notice that said they've already canceled me from Medicaid for not turning in the forms.
Oh, yeah,
And
well,
the front
that's
page on the
Medicaid.
packet of forms says that it has to be returned by April 1st.
Yeah, that's Medicaid. This is a Silver Surfer. I don't know what the Silver something is the name of it.
Meanwhile, keep an eye on whether you get your Social Security this month too.
Well, I'll kind of know that on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Actually, midnight on the 3rd. I sit there and watch it change numbers.
Yeah, especially when I do it now, just to make sure.
Yeah. Actually, mine usually shows up on my bank account on the 1st or 2nd saying it is pending. And then the money actually goes in on the 3rd.
Yep.
Mine comes in on the 1st. So it usually shows pending like a few days or a week before prior.
Oh, by the way, you guys, if you're out on Twitter or somewhere, and one of these vendors tries to sell you a little brown dog that is supposed to act and behave just like a real dog, and then they have this really nice AI where they got this little fake puppy running around and sitting and staying and coming and all this so my friend thought it was adorable. I thought it was too, but I wasn't going to spend $20 on it. And she did, because she said, I just have to know if it's any good. And it's not any good. It is as cute as it is online. It is the same size it is as online, but it walks like any other little toy robot.
Okay.
Yep, not surprised.
Yeah, so don't waste your money on that thing.
Hey, Robert.
Unless you really want to.
Wasn't planning to.
So I don't know what I should do about this. I'm completely dumb about this shit, and I have no idea how to do this. I just don't know. And I'm going to be running out of meds pretty soon. There's a couple of things that I had just picked up my prescription before it all canceled.
Don't
Well,
know
yeah, I
how
would
we'd be able
definitely
to
say
help you.
reapply
Mm.
because there might be multiple different programs that you're eligible for there. I know that with my late fiance, I had to review actually a couple of dozen different possible med programs to find which one covered most of hers, or at least the most expensive ones.
Yeah, $2,500 for a prescription is a little outlandish.
Yeah.
I know there's drugs that cost more and people pain and suffering and all that kind of good stuff, but that doesn't detract from the seriousness of my issue.
Yeah.
It's not a competition. It's
No.
something that you need. Archer was saying, I just got new glasses and the lady selling them said I should get a certain coating because my prescription is stronger in one eye than the other. She said my right eye would look way smaller.
Jared, they do not, and advise me to stay away from those Medicare Advantage things you see on TV all the time.
Yep.
Because they're nothing but trash and aggravation.
Yeah.
Archer said that sounds like a problem for other people, not for me.
Well, I want to know if this is Donnie's fault or not.
Possibly.
Well, more likely Elon's fault, but yeah.
They're one and the same.
Okay, Sumami. Oh, okay, I get it now.
Well, you may want to start calling the social service offices and all that.
Well, I didn't get it through them. I got it through my regular Social Security.
Yeah, but if you weren't eligible for Medicaid before, but you now have to pay more for prescriptions,
Yeah,
that could knock
from
you down
700
below the.
from
Well,
700 to 2,500. Yeah, it's an increase.
It could bring you down to the level that you may be eligible for Medicaid then. Because they will deduct, anything you have to pay for prescriptions from your income to figure your eligibility.
You're getting it through. You said you're getting it through the Social Security. Yeah, you'd be talking to whatever the office there for that. Wherever.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, start
Well,
trying
I
to make
do
some
have
calls.
good.
Hello.
And
Hello.
Randall gets the sloth.
Shh. You're really, really, really loud.
Okay. Commander, what were you saying?
Well, mom's coming home. They finally realized I did $60,000 to take her back. So they're letting her fly commercial. Yay. Now I just gotta hope there's money for Medicaid because she's in a condition because of the illness where now she needs nursing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be something to see what she qualifies for.
And she's in a very unhappy spot where the pension and Social Security is substantial enough where we couldn't get Medicaid out in Virginia.
Mm. Well,
I'm,
at
I'm
least you're gonna get her on a flight.
Yep. And then after I get her settled, there's some things in the works. I don't know. Contact me if you have a working passport.
a working what?
Passport.
Oh, passport.
No, I've never had a passport because I figured I could never afford to travel out of the country.
Yeah, they won't give them to trans people right now.
You would think
Which
they would just to get us out of the country.
which just goes to show you how wonderful a group of people they are. Dear Donnie, Pinkel auf dich.
Up to New York. And then you can get a enhanced ID to deal the state of New York as with Canada, where you don't need a passport if you get an enhanced ID.
Yeah, Commander, I'm not sure what's with how you're coming through, but I'm finding you kind of difficult to understand today.
My noise gate. Okay, so if you move to New York, you can get what's called an enhanced ID, where you don't need a passport, and it's a deal between the state of New York and the nation of Canada. So you can get into Canada legally.
If you're a resident of New York.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, if you're just worried about Canada, you can still do that without a passport. If your state has the enhanced driver's license. That's still
always
valid.
that's always been the intent of the Real ID, as it was called in the bill.
Yeah.
Was to have this so solid that people can use it that way, and everybody be happy except Trump, because they got to think of some other ways to not let you vote and things.
Yeah. Yeah, but with the enhanced driver's license is still valid for you to go into Canada or Mexico. You still
Well, I
can't
don't have
use
one
it
of
at the
those either.
airport.
I don't have one of those either because I don't have my a birth certificate, because they won't change it. So I can't get a driver's license, and so then I can't get. All right, yeah.
No.
I can't get birth certificate, so I can't get passport, and I can't get driver's license, which you need for passport. I'm triple fucked.
No, you can still get a driver's license.
No, I cannot.
If you have your birth certificate and
I don't have a birth certificate. I've been saying this for months. I am the perfect example of what's going to happen to one hell of a lot of the marginalized community.
Okay, is there a reason you can't order a birth certificate?
It takes a lawyer to take care of it. And my lawyer, as I have said many times, is sitting on his fucking ass and not doing it. And I can't get another lawyer because I don't live in Milwaukee, and I can't pick and choose because I don't know anybody anymore.
Okay, I don't understand why you need a lawyer, right?
Because you have to submit the forms for my lawyer and stuff.
Okay, I have never heard of that happening.
You're not in Wisconsin now, are you?
No, but Slothgirl was born in Wisconsin, and
Did she change
didn't
her
have
name?
any problem with getting a birth certificate. And
Did she
did not need
change
a
her
lawyer.
name? Did she change her gender marker? There's a whole lot more to do. Changing your name is easy. You basically write your name down and say, This is now my new name, and I'm not a criminal.
Actually, she had her last name changed twice, and she just had to include copies of both marriage license that showed the name change.
Yeah. Again, that's not.
I'm lucky I was
just not
born
the
in
same.
Trent, or I wouldn't have a birth certificate.
Hey, Granny. Even Granny says, I'm trying to flee to Mexico. Yeah, I've heard a number of people doing that.
So, depending upon how much money I can raise, there's something called the Friendship Treaty with the Netherlands. I hope it still exists. Where if you can get a bank account with 4,500 euros and basically create and even something online or just sell a few things now and then online, you basically a business, you can get residency in the Netherlands.
Yeah,
And
Ivy was describing
also
it all to us.
And also, I need my grandparents' nationalization papers, and it's taken a buck ton of time, but I probably could get residency in Italy or Poland. But good luck getting your copy of the nationalization papers from this thing.
Yeah.
And then there's always Ukraine.
Well, remember,
I have
people just cover up your.
non-public means.
All right, I'll just not stop talking here.
Else.
There's
I'm
a lag.
sorry, I have to delay.
What were you saying, Jenny?
Don't do this, Jenny. It was just a delay.
Yeah, but when you have a delay, and I understand that because I've had those too, but you come off the delay and you hear somebody talking, you kind of need to assume that somebody was talking before you got back. And be quiet and let them finish, then you can jump in.
Everybody's being quiet now so you can talk.
I don't remember what I was going to say. It's gone.
Well, anyway, I also have the phone number of someone who could privately, and I'm not making promises for him, but let's just say you could probably get into Ukraine as volunteers, and I'm thinking of that too. Well, if I enlisted in the Ukrainian military, I could take out Russians for free. They're
Well,
basically all zombies.
Maybe I should do that just because it's, for my heritage. That my father's side was Polish, my mother's side was Finnish, and the only thing they had in common was they all liked to shoot Russians.
My grandfather hated Russians.
Yeah, well, both
He
sides
was
of my
like,
family are
"Don't-"
here because Russia tried to move the borders.
He was like, don't ever trust the Russians to liberate you from anything, or the devil will have his Jews. And Jews don't believe in a very big devil. So for him to say that he was driving on before,
I'm betting that little Donnie boy is going to give Russia all of Alaska.
Donnie boy is petting this little bitch. He's a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be willing to give him Alaska, because what Donnie Boy's always on about is all the natural resources, and his billionaires that own the oil companies would be kind of upset about him giving away Alaska.
He's already giving Russia everything they want. The first step to a Russian mind-fucking of a country is demoralization. Well, the target audience, the Republican Party, has no morals anymore. Okay, done. Second is economic and diplomatic destabilization. That's a phase we're in right now, and as the economy does the shit, we'll transition to crisis.
Yep. And in the meantime, the Republicans, or the Democrats rather, are doing nothing to push back.
The Democrats of note
Well,
are not. There's lots of Democrats who are pushing back.
Oh yeah, yeah, but I meant
Yours-
the party leaders. The party leaders are basically telling them to just sit quietly and wait for the next election. I do like that some of the Democrats have decided to start going to a lot of the Republican swing districts and start doing the town hall meetings that the Republicans refuse to do.
Oh well, that they're gonna deal with that because we're just a bunch of radical extremists, and we shouldn't be allowed to go to their meetings. So
Actually, the Republicans' cover story for not doing the town halls is that all the people who were being disruptive were paid protesters.
Yep.
I never knew I
They
could
like
get
to say
paid
that.
for it.
You can't.
Filled you up. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to use that term.
And it's being paid by Soros, no less.
Yeah, Tim Walsh is one of the guys who is going and doing the Republican town halls. So I am really hoping that he will get a lot of coverage nationally, and maybe we can primary him for president in 2028 if we still have elections.
I think we should start talking to Barack Obama about running for a third term when Donnie and the rest of the idiots break the rules and make that happen.
Fortunately, they're rigging it so he wouldn't be able to. If they went through.
Doesn't mean you don't try.
How did they do that to disqualify him?
Basically, how it is since there was a break between for Trump, since he lost the last election, and they have to be 2 consecutive terms.
No, it does not.
That's what they're trying to propose.
I see.
So that's the proposal. Since he ran 1 term and then he didn't have another consecutive term, he had this term, so he can run a 3rd term. Is how they're trying to propose it. Since it'd be another 2nd consecutive term.
Right.
And seeing as Obama had 2 consecutive terms, he would not be applicable under what they're trying to change.
Okay, then let's put Grover Cleveland back on the ticket. Hey, Scummer. Oh, and now we've got Demon Orb and My Unfinished Journey. We're up to 15 now. That's a pretty good crowd for us.
Love 15 peoples.
I'm just going to throw up some more random memes then. Do you suffer from anxiety attacks? Are they often caused by stupid people? Get an emotional support honey badger. Unlike other companion animals that snuggle up to provide physical comfort and a safe space during anxiety attacks, the emotional support honey badger instead physically attacks and savages the absolute living hell out of the stupid idiot bothering you, thus removing the source of the anxiety. Much more efficient.
You know what? You know why we know that happens? Because the honey badger don't give a shit.
Yep.
That was one of the funniest videos ever on the internet.
And an Egyptian grammar lesson. It's I before flee, except after C.
I don't think anybody got that.
It's a visual one. You gotta look at the cartoon that he's carving the hieroglyphics into the wall. So the guy behind him is correcting him because he put the I in the wrong place.
Hmm.
I get it.
Yep. Magic the Gathering. Wow, you're really letting your nerd flag fly, huh? Actually, it's a geek flag. Nerds are more academically inclined, while we geeks are just super passionate about our hobbies. I see. And the... Damn it. What happened?
You blew it up.
There.
You blew it all up.
Yeah. Actually, it's a geek flag. Nerds are more academically inclined, while we geeks are just super passionate about our hobbies. I see. And the people who know and care about this difference are called? I believe dork is the preferred nomenclature.
But don't everybody talk at once.
Yeah, I was trying to catch up on the side chat.
Elon Musk is putting in literally millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars into the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. Of course, it's between now. You know, they're all nonpartisan.
Yep.
So it's between a Democrat and a Republican. They're both experienced judges, but they decided to brand Susan Crawford as an extremist liberal. We don't need any more of those liberal judges. Okay. And now they've started to bring back the same bullshit during the election that, oh, well, she stands for, giving kids puberty blockers without their parents' permission. And, this stuff that is just absolute fucking lies. And they think it's just fine to go ahead out and do that and say that fucking shit. And oh yeah, male teachers are going to, or who are transitioning, are going to use the little girls' room. No, the teachers have their own restrooms. No teachers uses the little girls' room.
Yeah, there was also a bill that I want to say it was Oklahoma, but I'm not sure, that they were actually calling for it to be okay for them to do gender inspections on high school students for sport events. So that, yeah, basically, pretty much any of the teachers could just decide to make a student drop their pants so they could check if they were male or female. Like, yeah, that couldn't be abused.
Oh, my back.
Oh. Yeah, we lost Commander.
Commander always has trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always some signal issues there.
Well, maybe we could put the whole show through that app if that's what you call it, an app. Yeah. Do you hear him say that? He was talking about this whole thing with the reporter on the chat, and he said, well, I hear that, because he says he doesn't know anything about it. I hear that they're using this app, if you want to call it that, and then mumbles a little bit about something else you can't hear. That's what you want to call it. Yes, we do call it that, and so does everybody else on the planet, and every damn place that you get apps from, call them apps. Yeah, stupid dick.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what they were doing, discussing war plans on a non-secured communication is, basically everybody who was on that call should get fired.
Interesting you mentioned in that just as I was coming across this meme.
Yeah.
I don't get the drawing.
No brain.
Oh. Did somebody make a no brain comment?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I want my necklace.
Oh,
Oh, fuck off,
ow.
Elon and dickhead.
Sorry, what was that?
Elon Musk trying to do Nazi alert crap.
Yeah. Now I haven't seen an official source to confirm this, but I have heard that Elon Musk is banned from entering Germany for doing that.
That would be good.
That's what I heard too.
So I was saying, fuck off too. How much you want to bet if I found the actual video clip that's from it's not what they're trying to make it look like.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ones they dug up still pictures like that of different Democrats. And in all the cases, it's more like they're just doing a big wave.
Did y'all hear the uproar over Jasmine Crockett and what she said about Greg Abbott and his wheelchair? Of course, she denies it's about his wheelchair, but we all know that it was, and she does too. But we're lying because Republicans lie too. Did you hear it?
No.
Well, she made some comment about his being in a wheelchair and called him, oh God, what was it? Hot Wheels Greg or something along those lines, some smart ass little thing. I'm sure you can find it if you just do a search here. We'll do it right now for Greg Abbott. And Jasmine roast. How's that?
You know, we do have proof now of ghosts in the afterlife.
Oh,
Well, Stephen Hawking died years ago, and his wheelchair still talks.
Let's see. Here we go. As soon as it comes up, we'll have it.
Yeah, Germany has a lot of very strict rules about, doing anything that references the Third Reich.
Oh yeah, she was at at a place she's given a speech, the Human Rights Campaign in Los Angeles dinner on the 22nd. And she says, y'all pray for me because who knows what I'm going to end up saying, unquote. The congressman went on to talk about the support for the Human Rights Campaign for legislative efforts and the push from Democrats despite resistance from Republicans. Quote, we are in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we have Governor Hot Wheels down here. Crockett said it's the only hot thing about him. He's got a hot ass mess.
Hot Wheels in reference to wheelchair?
Yep.
That explains the wheelchair I saw.
Yep. That's why I put it up in the chat.
I don't know. So calling somebody in a wheelchair Hot Wheels doesn't sound like an insult.
Well, it is. I mean, but who fucking cares? This man ordered police and other minions to wrap barrels with razor wire, sink them in the river, and let the people die when they get cut the ribbons on it, so he can get a whole bunch of different names forever.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a great little quote from Paula Poundstone. Does everybody know Paula Poundstone?
Oh yeah.
I think a great comedian.
She's a good comedian.
And it says it's a short letter. Dear Pete Hegseth, we have a lot in common. I shouldn't be Secretary of Defense either. She is good. Yes, and Adolf Hitler. Did y'all see the rocket ship on the side of a Cybertruck? Oh, wrong one.
No.
Well, it's coming. You're going to see it here.
Again.
Okay, are you dropping it in Twitter?
And the caption says, people are now spray painting SpaceX rockets on Cybertrucks to support Elon Musk.
Oh, no, I gotta get this one.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting the image here.
I got it.
Okay.
Well, anyway, that's apparently that's a real Hot Wheels toy.
What, him sitting in that blue thing?
Oh.
What they have on screen.
Huh.
Oh.
But that one looks like it's signed by someone.
Anyway, going to the...
Wait, no, go back to that.
Go back to the Hot Wheels one? Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like it's signed by someone, and it's someone doing some kind of like extreme sports.
Yeah, it is. But apparently this has been going around after that Hot Wheels comment about the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Aaron Wheels for the...
Probably for the win.
Something on there.
Yeah.
We got kids getting who are in wheelchairs getting their toy.
Cool.
Well, anyway, back to the dick pics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found a Barbie wheelchair at the thrift store the other week.
On Craigslist, there's frequently an American Girl wheelchair for sale.
Ah,
An accessory for your American Girl doll.
yep.
They have just about everything for those things, don't they?
Sloth Girl had one of those dolls. She won it in a raffle when we were in Michigan. Yeah, that's definitely a rocket ship.
Okay,
Mhm.
what is the first thing you think of when you see this picture?
Yeah, well, a rocket ship doesn't have balls, so
Death to Smoochie.
Huh?
Death to Smoochie.
I never saw that movie.
There was a scene in it where Robin Williams' character made a bunch of cookies in the shape of a dick and balls, and he pulls it out on camera and he's holding it like it's a rocket ship, and he starts.
That two red light thing is the painting the Scream.
Okay,
And
my
I am
unfinished journey says I think that guy is a stunt performer who tours with Travis Pastrana's Nitro Circus. That's what the Hot Wheels wheelchair was from.
Yeah, cool. Well, it seemed the kids in the wheelchairs were quite happy with their Hot Wheels wheelchair.
Oh, this is absolutely fucking amazing. A picture of a ballerina. Go ahead, take it.
Yep, I'm getting it.
This one you want to magnify and take a good look at, folks.
Yeah, Scummer mentioned that he put a couple of things in the Twitter group too.
No, you got to see her feet.
Holy crap.
Show the whole bottle.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing. The bottle, not her.
Yeah, she's
Everything else.
standing on a wine bottle.
She's on point on one fucking bottle. That is just.
Yeah, that's just incredible balance.
Unbelievable. This came from one of my Milwaukee friends.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's how do you get up there to do that? You know, it's
Well, she would have to do a bit of a hop to get on top of it, which, then to hop up there and then balance is even more incredible.
Well, now you can put your foot on there and then bounce onto the one foot.
that's like the modern day women who are doing pole dancing. The incredible physical feats that they do on that pole is just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
This one has help getting up there. I suppose it's possible somebody helped her up there.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe people could, grab each elbow and lift her up, and then she gets on it, and they slowly let her weight down so she can balance and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's often in ballet. They do have somebody to, do the lift and twirl and toss things.
Oh, and here's a shot from a Simpsons movie that everybody should want to see.
Yeah, Mage, Scummer said something about he had put some images of some action figures in the group there.
Well, hang on. Before I get to the Simpsons thing, I just found something here. That make sure they get the sound off. Okay. There it is. But this is probably how she did it. Bottle. Up.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm trying to get there.
There.
Yeah, so if somebody helped her step up.
Yeah, I think
Still.
that's the same woman.
Okay, let's see. Great.
I'll play.
Yeah.
I would play it again.
Yeah, run it again.
Let me get here. Set the bell down.
Yep. Yeah, the photographer helped her step up.
Yeah, but regardless, it's just
Yeah.
it's an incredible feat.
Oh yeah.
Feet.
just
Oh, get it? An incredible feat. Oh.
Yeah, to hold that pose long enough for him to take the picture.
I only need to hold it for about a second there. It's like
It's still.
all right. Getting on to your Simpsons thing. Okay, and this is April 12th, 2025, the end of an era.
Well, that's the prediction that the I'm a Simpsons want to make.
April 12th, huh?
Yeah.
Well, some of the Republicans are pushing for him to step down, but that'll just give us Vance, which is
Which
not
they
gonna
want.
improve our situation.
Which they want.
Yeah.
Here, these have been going up all over France, apparently. I wish I could do more than one at a time.
Cheeto. Oh, those. Yeah. I'll switch to that one since you're talking about it.
I can't read the text on that one.
Posters feature the faces of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Nigel Farage, and Benjamin.
Oh, that's right. They're landing in Britain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen these.
Landing in Britain. Boy, is that a bad sentence. They're showing up in France.
Cyber or boat.
This is a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it'll probably rust if it makes contact with seawater.
Another one of those.
And these fuckers are big too. I've seen some adults walk next to them and they're over their heads.
Are you talking about the bird?
The posters.
The posters, they're usually painted all together.
Yep.
Okay. Switch over the bird here. It's actually, some birds are actually trained to catch these drones.
Which I think is a brilliant idea.
I didn't know people were training them to do it. I knew that wild birds were attacking them. Hawks and eagles are not fond of the drones.
You don't like the drones?
No. Well, basically, they're very territorial. So anything flying in their airspace, they take down.
Baby toast.
Yesterday I saw two people flying in what appeared to be a lawn chair.
Say that again.
I saw two people flying in what appeared to be a lawn chair.
Oh yeah, well that makes sense. Yeah. If you obey the laws of aviation, anything can fly as long as you obey the rules. This group that I follow, Flight Test, FLITETEST, one word I believe, is a company down in Ohio, I believe also. And what they do is they sell model airplane kits for RC work, and they're revolutionary because they're made out of foam. You know, not the kind of cast foam that you see in the garbage in toy stores, but out of 1/4-inch foam board.
Yep.
And you cut that out and put it together. Some of them are extremely complex. And they fly great. Well, these guys also believe in the theory of anything will fly if you just get little rules, including that toilet that they flew.
Well, something they've actually been using for attack drones that the Ukraine have been using are these kits that come, with basically the motor and propellers, and you build the drone out of the shipping box it came in. So they're literally cardboard, and they're attacking the Russians with these things.
Well, what was a couple of people paragliding, and like what you see here.
Oh yeah,
It's actually what I saw.
that looks kind of cool.
But from a distance, it looked like somebody in a fucking lawn chair flying around.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah,
basically
I
that's what he's in.
I was thinking you meant somebody that, had a lawn chair with a bunch of big balloons tied to it or something.
It almost looked like that. It looked like a lawn chair with a parachute and some kind of propeller attached to it. Is what looked like from a distance, but this is what they had.
Those are actually pretty popular up in Ozaki and Sheboygan County in Wisconsin. It's just huge tracts of open land from farming, and you see these things flying around almost every couple of days. You see one in the air. I would like to do it, but it's scary.
I'd like to
No,
do
thank
it
you.
too, but I don't think I could handle just dangling at that height.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'll pass.
What I would like to try is one of those wingsuits, but not jumping off a cliff. I'd like to do it at one of those indoor things that you're just doing it over a huge fan. So if something goes wrong, you can only fall about 6 feet.
Yeah, it's doing over a huge fan. And oh, darn, the power just went out.
What,
Yeah,
your
but like I
power?
say, you can only fall. What, Jenny?
Did you just say your power went out?
No, you're hovering over a giant fan and in those suits, and the power goes out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you can only fall about 6 feet. And, I've fallen from ladders that were more than twice that high. So.
Well, then this should be a simple task for you.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I know I can take that fall, and I won't break any bones. At worst, I'll get a couple of bad bruises.
Honey, you're pretty old now, and you're on estrogen. Your bones will explode like a glass plate.
I am not old. Old is always defined as 5 years more than my current age.
Yeah, well, get realistic. You are old, and you're on estrogen.
Yeah, I'm still going to outlive most of you.
As long as you don't fall. That's what the doctors tell me.
No, I'll wind up, I might wind up with an artificial joint like the rest of my family, but, I definitely have the DNA for it. As far as my mother is 94, and both of her parents lived into their 90s. Okay,
let's-
what we got here? Oh, Batman's parents. Oh.
oh my God. It's too
Yeah.
funny.
Posted that. Posted
Oh,
on that group. Great. Jeff.
Yeah, these are the ones Scummer uploaded.
Oh, send this to me.
It's in the DM group.
Okay, good. I got a friend. I gotta send that to. He's this 40-year-old guy I know that is into Batman like a teenager.
I'm saving this.
Yeah, Jen, I don't think you would have that hard of a landing from the paraplane because you still have the chute. So basically, at that point, you would just be, free falling a parachute. I think there were some other ones that Scumber put in there too.
There's another one.
Oh my God. I got one that you just gotta
Wait,
put
what?
up.
Yep.
It's a winner.
Adam and Steve action figures.
Hmm.
So, this is so irreverent, and it's perfect that it is. It's the one with the 4 dialogue boxes. Oh, Adam and Steve, I like that. Is that a real product? Can I get that? Yeah, that looks like a legit product.
Well, you know, it is a legit product.
Yeah, there's companies selling these.
$65. It's sold out though.
Wow.
From Death by Toys.
Well, that's fucking excellent.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't get that yet, did I? Whoops. Too much. Oh yeah, there it is. I gotta put it in the Twitter thing. Oh, it's already there. I'm so confused, guys. Okay, it's 4 small dialogue boxes,
Yeah.
like a chat.
So mommy says I'm 25 next month and a granny. Yeah. Sloth Girl was 29, and I wouldn't take any awkward questions about how her daughter was older than she was.
Perp, how about you and I read this? Which part do you want to play, JD or Pete?
I'm trying to find what you're talking about.
I've got a feeling that I don't want to be involved.
I sent a picture up to there, and it's 4 little dialogue boxes.
Yeah, I'm looking for 4 little dialogue boxes. I'm not seeing 4 little dialogue boxes.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that image either.
I am seeing this. Thoughts and prayers.
No.
Yeah.
That's from
Jenny, I think you may need to resend that picture.
All right. Get better. MidAmerica. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, it didn't take for some reason.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, Perp, which one do you want to, which part do you want to play?
I guess I'll do Pete.
Okay, and now I'll do JD.
Bro, I just drank a 5th of Jack Daniels.
Fam, this couch is looking at me funny. I didn't. Oh, it's mine too. It didn't even say thank you.
I think I may have just bombed Yemen.
I think this is hilariously funny. I'm sorry. No one else does.
Yeah. Yeah, I only got through the first, Trump's first term in office by convincing myself that somebody had made an intentional typo in the launch codes they gave him, so he would never be able to launch. I have to hold that as headcanon to be able to survive. Just that somebody in the military is smart enough not to give him the ability to actually do horrible things.
Oh, here's one from my Cybertruck accident series.
Shit.
You like that one, huh?
Not even the best Nazi car.
Yep. Yeah, in case anybody is not aware, the VW Beetle was actually, being developed by the Nazis because they were aware that they were going to have fuel shortages. So they just wanted a car that would go as far as it could on a gallon of gas and just carry a driver and one officer.
Volkswagen is people's car.
Well, that's the name they gave it, yes.
It was a political thing.
Yeah. Well, they convinced the factory workers that if they put in enough hours, they would get a free car. That was the perk they were supposed to be able to earn. Although, as far as anyone can tell, none of the employees ever got one.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that sums up the Cybertruck. It's ugly, but it falls apart.
I like it.
That's good. We need to make that viral.
Yep. Yeah, we gotta slap that on a meme and just get it going all over the internet.
I just think this is so funny. It's obviously a setup shot, but
Yeah.
To have the Volkswagen just sitting there untouched is so well done.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then the green sign after that one.
Getting it. What's to say? As people are into attacking Tesla dealerships, their tour is showing violence in that on January 6th.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just people on vacation.
Yeah, and they're not firebombing the dealership. Those are just lanterns.
There's that image I was looking for.
I like it.
That was the one I was looking for. Here, Jenny, you can slap the meme on it.
There you go. Yeah, well,
Hold
my
on,
unfinished journey was the one who provided the joke, so.
Okay, I'm just mixed up here. Give me a moment.
I just put that image in the MidAmerican chat. You can put the.
No, I want to see the image.
I had the image up the whole time.
Yeah, I told you I'm all confused and stuff.
Yeah, bring it back up.
I'll bring it back up. There's the image. So it's the Cybertruck with the bumper or whatever the hell that is coming off, and we can put the thing. It's ugly, but it falls apart.
Yeah. Now, see, that's what I thought when they were talking about the problem with the adhesive. I was envisioning it was something like that going on.
No, it's the strip from the bottom of the windshield. You can see it right here.
Yeah, I get what you mean now.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know, I just thought it was like a bigger body panel like that they were talking about. Yep. Anyone here old enough to remember S&H green stamps?
Yep.
Green stamps?
Yeah, S&H, Sperry and Hutchison.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get who would buy a Cybertruck either, just because what's the point of a pickup truck with that small of a box? You can't carry anything in it. You literally can't fit a bicycle in that box.
Which box?
The Cybertruck. The cargo box on the back is too short for a bicycle. Yeah, how do you get away with calling that a truck?
I don't know. I think there should be rules about this.
Yeah. Well, and when they first came out, Elon was saying something about that you'd be able to run Baja in them, and you know, it's like, yeah, I've seen what happens when people try to drive these things off road. They usually need somebody to winch them out. There we go. You get a Cybertruck if you save up enough cereal box tops. Yeah, I wonder what is the load capacity on a Cybertruck as far as how much weight it can carry?
Don't know. Ask Google.
Yep.
I saw somebody was talking about how they were replacing Google with Grok.
Yeah, okay.
What is the load capacity of a Cybertruck?
Well, according to Tesla, it's 2,500 pounds. But who knows if that's accurate, seeing it's coming from Tesla.
A ton and a quarter? I don't think so. No way. That thing would fold.
But like I said, that's coming from Tesla, so who knows if they're actually...
Yeah. It's probably never been tested for how much it can carry.
Okay, this is the... Did you get the fax?
The Fox.
What does the fax say?
There.
Isn't that adorable?
Oh.
And then the one below, that'll be my last for today. You guys can whip some out now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it doesn't burn
I
your
didn't want to
eyes.
see that.
And you can never unsee it.
Unfortunately, I'm busy, so I'm gonna have to keep that up for a minute.
There we go. Sumami says that the load capacity is one small chihuahua. Yeah, that I'll believe. I was actually wondering if you would exceed the load capacity by having 4 passengers. I have never used Grok just because I have been so insulted by Elon stealing that word without having any concept of what it means or where it came from.
I've messed around with it a little bit, but seeing as it's time for this, so here you go. Here's a unsolicited dick pic.
Oh, Dickie York. The gay Darren. He was.
I didn't know he was gay.
Yep. Like, doesn't he look gay, you know?
It's the hair, obviously.
Well, yeah, I guess he does have a vintage gay look. The only real Darren.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the ones who complain about entertainment being woke, yeah, it's always been that way. Like, way back with the I Love Lucy show, that originally Ricky was from Cuba, and after the Cuban Missile Crisis, suddenly he was from Puerto Rico instead.
Oh no, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I don't watch Lucy. I hate Lucy.
Yeah, they changed it, and there was even a throwaway line in one episode because he said he was Puerto Rican, and what was it, Frank, their neighbor guy? He said, "I thought you were from Cuba," and he said, "No, no, no."
Oh, you're curious as to what the interior of a Cybertruck looks like.
Yeah, that kind of confirms what I've wondered about all along as far as the headroom in the back seat. I always wondered if an adult could actually sit back there or if you could only put children back there.
Kind of looks like if you hit a big bump, you're gonna crack your head.
Yeah, well, it looks like you don't really want to put anybody that's over about 5'6" back there.
This is absolutely ugly as sin.
Yeah, and again, it looks like it's a prop from an 80s sci-fi movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look professional or tasteful at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Melon Man Musk that we know.
Yeah, just inside and out, everything about this looks like it was designed to be a shuttle for an 80s sci-fi movie that only had a budget of a $25 Home Depot card. Hey, Sammy. How's my pal doing today?
Oops.
I just realized that a good gift I should get my uncle.
Oh?
Amigo on a shelf?
No.
No. Okay.
He recently purchased a Tesla.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
Well, then you better get him an Audi badge for it so they don't burn it.
Yeah, I wonder. They've talked about the Tesla stock crashing. I wonder about, what has it done to the potential resale value of somebody who wants to unload a Tesla?
Oh, I would say they're probably screwed.
But I should probably get him this.
Oh.
Just in
yeah,
case.
that's how we haven't tried yet. How well does a Cybertruck float?
I didn't know this. Tsunami says she refused to do I Love Lucy because they didn't want her to be married to a Hispanic man with a heavy Latin accent. Okay, Sammy. Sammy is annoyed that the keyboard was taking up my entire lap.
Oh dear.
And he is really forcing his way in. He's been a bit needy lately. It's time for his annual vet checkup anyway. I hope this isn't, that he's been feeling unwell.
Needy lately?
This isn't...
Turn those cats into emotion beggars.
Want to see something even dumber about the Cybertruck?
Sure.
It can get dumber?
Oh yeah. Check that out.
Ew.
It's got a camera so you can see what's in the bed.
Front steering wheel. So no, I guess the speedometer's on the screen.
Yeah, apparently, one of the things that's been cited about a reason for Tesla's having so many accidents is that the backup camera has a slight delay. So if you're using the backup camera, like to back out of a parking space, you won't necessarily see a vehicle pulling behind you in time.
Oops.
But, what? There's no speedometer or anything on this thing?
It's on the screen.
No, it all comes up on that display panel.
That seems like a really bad idea. It's also apparently the that display panel is on its own separate battery system, so that can actually go out on you even though you're still driving.
Yep. Would Elon be able to fuck his May women if he wasn't a billionaire? No.
No.
If he didn't have the money, they would all realize he was an idiot, and none of them would go out with him.
I'm not sure if I'd feel safe getting into one of these Cybertrucks.
I don't feel safe driving behind one of them, let alone getting in one.
Well, just make sure you got fresh tires so you can roll over the trim and not have it poke through.
Hey, Victoria. But yeah, for 2024, Tesla is the car company that had the most recalls of any car company known. The Cybertruck alone has had 8 recalls on it. Oh yeah, and this is something that's been talked about a lot lately. I forget who the YouTuber is, but I saw the video out there that this guy painted up a wall Wile E. Coyote style
yes.
with the road going. And that was enough to fool the self-driving mode on the Tesla. That the Tesla just barreled right through the wall. And of course, ran over the dummies of the children again. Because he was comparing the Tesla self-driving to I forget what company made the other self-driving. Because apparently the Tesla does all of its self-driving just by regular cameras. So it's just trying to, calculate all the optical data.
Well, sounds like that was designed by a fool.
Yep.
Autopilot into running through this Wile E. Coyote painted brick wall. Because unlike other cars that use sensors like radar or LiDAR to see, Teslas famously only rely on simple optical cameras for its autopilot. Now to a human driver, while that sort of looks convincing, the image processing in our brains is advanced enough that we pick up on the minor visual inconsistencies and we wouldn't hit it. And then a car with LiDAR will of course stop because it's just using a point cloud that detects a wall without seeing the painted image at all. So while my clever ruse is no match for a human or a LiDAR sensor, question is, can I trick my Tesla into running straight through that wall? Well, as a firm believer in the scientific method, there's only one way to find out.
Yep.
Turns out my Tesla is less Roadrunner, more Wile E. Coyote. Wow!
I love Mark Roper. He's so funny.
Well, and what's even worse is, like 2 years ago, I saw a picture that some artist did on the side of a building to make it look like a tunnel. And apparently it was so convincing that 3 cars had crashed into it within a year.
Well, you get a good photorealistic painter, and it's hard to tell the difference in some cases. When we were kids, we had this stupid encyclopedias, which were just made for like 3rd graders and stuff. But they had some pictures from World War II, and they had this one picture of a German guy standing on top of this very, very, very large cannon next to the barrel. And all my life, I had to look at that and say, is that a painting or is that a photograph?
Mm.
And I finally gave up when my parents didn't move the books along with the household.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly which one you mean, but yeah, the Germans did build a couple of insanely huge rail guns. That was basically it was like taking the guns from a battleship and mounting them on a train car. And actually, they did one that was even bigger than any of the battleship guns and had a range of like 27 miles.
That's about the range of those big guns.
Yeah, unfortunately, they declared that it really wasn't all that useful. It was a waste of resources.
It depends on if it hit anything.
Well, that was the problem. The aim, the accuracy just wasn't there. They couldn't do much more than, hit the right town. They couldn't hit a particular, like a particular artillery emplacement or that.
Yeah, well, that's why they developed smart weapons.
Yeah. As far as the range of the guns, the battleship New Jersey was helping to cover a landing on one of the Japanese islands, and they miscalculated the range on the guns and shot over the island completely, and were hitting British landing craft coming in from the opposite side.
Well, that doesn't work.
Yeah, sinking your allies is not a good strategy.
Did you hear in the Russia-Ukraine incident that Russia has agreed to a ceasefire on the Black Sea in exchange for certain, what do they call that? Instead of a war, you have you corral their wealth or money. What do they call it? It starts with an S. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure the word you're looking for, but I can see why Russia would want this, considering how many times the Ukraine has sunk their ships.
Yeah, I think they've got 3 big ones now, something like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't keeping count, but
And a submarine.
oh yes. Those Ukrainians are really fucking something. They are a fierce people. I saw this lovely TikTok video made by some Ukrainian women who are soldiers, and it was all about women as soldiers for Ukraine. And it was, there were some glamour shots, and a couple legitimate combat, at least get it walking into combat or be in combat area. No actual killing in the film, but it was really neat. The Ukrainian women are absolutely fucking incredible.
Yeah. Was sanctions the word you were looking for?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Victoria.
I hate that I can't come up with words I've known all my life.
Yeah, you say about the Ukrainian women, and from early in the war, there was still the story about one of the Russian spy drones, and a Ukrainian grandma was out on her balcony and took it down by throwing a jar of pickles at it.
That sounds good. I like those big drones that they have, the ones that carry armament, the self-destruct suicide drones.
Yeah.
They're huge. Oh God, I saw a film from one of those creatures making its run into self-destruction, and it's flying and flying. It zeroes in on this personnel carrier and flies down to its level and is proceeding as fast as it fucking can, and it goes through an open door and bounced around inside of the thing for a while before it exploded.
Yeah, also, I didn't realize how expensive the Teslas were. That the Model 3, which is supposed to be, I guess, like their most popular one, starts at like $80,000. I know they've got a cheaper budget model that starts around like 35 or 40,000, but
What's that?
the Teslas.
Oh, I wonder what their stock price is up to or down to today.
Yeah, I also heard somebody I think it was on Pocket Locker's broadcast. I heard this, that Elon used Tesla stock, as a major part of the buying of Twitter. And apparently, because of that, if the stock drops too much, they can force him to pay the full amount that, the full 44 billion that he said, or 44 million, whatever it was, they said he was going to pay for it. And if he can't get that much by selling the Tesla stock, that they can repossess Twitter.
Well, that would be fine.
I'm okay with that.
That would be wonderful, yeah.
We'll keep dropping that stock then, everybody.
Yep. Let's keep driving the Teslas down.
What made me happiest is when I read somebody discussing. Well, actually, it was Elon Musk himself saying what's going to happen if it keeps losing its share price, and he says I'm going to end up bankrupt because I used Twitter and Saudi Arabian money and all that kind of stuff to buy Twitter. He didn't pay for it himself.
Yeah.
And all of his personal wealth is based on the leveraged things that he is into. He doesn't actually have any cash.
Yep.
He's cash poor.
Yeah, and artificially propping up the price of Tesla was where most of his money was.
Ooh, good news, Scott Goddess. Thank you very much.
So basically, this hump right here is all this artificial inflation.
Yeah. Yeah, all the times he did big showy things to say that Tesla was, going to release something mind-blowing on within the next year.
So they're basically back to what they were a year ago. It's like,
yeah, Tsunami, unfortunately, I think this was one of the big reasons that Elon got put in charge of the government, was basically to make sure that NASA could only buy stuff through SpaceX.
He then, whoever owns it gets to do whatever they want. A private business is a dictatorship.
Yep.
There's no expectation of freedom, lack of censorship, or anything.
No, but Tsunami was saying that, NASA should stop dealing with SpaceX. But unfortunately, Elon now has great influence over, NASA's budget. So, but if he becomes bankrupt, he could become president. It worked for the current guy. This is true.
I think that's a requirement, isn't it?
I thought the only requirement was that you had to be morally bankrupt.
Well, they got that one hands down. Oh, my back is so fucking sore.
Well, if Twitter got repossessed, it would go back to the previous owner. So then it would be up to whatever moderation policies they put in place. Yeah. One of the things contributing to Tesla stock dropping is that due to the trade tariffs, they're no longer importing Teslas to Canada.
Or Britain.
Yeah, just because it's made them too expensive for the dealers to sell them in Canada.
Aww.
That's true. We're safe from that. Elon couldn't become president because he's not a natural born citizen.
Well, that's the thing about dictators. The rules don't apply anytime they don't want them to apply.
Yeah, that's true. The Republicans could wind up changing that.
They already have, I'm sure. It just hasn't been announced.
I don't think they're quite that far along.
I saw Steve Bannon in an interview, and the reporter asked him, what he was talking about Trump being elected again, and the reporter said, "Well, but you can only run 2 terms according to the Constitution. That's immutable." And Steve Bannon just kind of gives his fucking Steve Bannon smirk and says, "We'll see. We're working on it."
Yeah.
And that was the scariest thing I've ever heard anybody say about this whole mess.
Yeah, like I said, they're trying to make it where it has to be 2 consecutive terms.
Yeah, but also like during his campaign, why didn't more people pay attention to when Trump said that, this will be the last time you have to vote. In 4 years, we'll have it all fixed. You'll never have to vote again.
Yep.
We'll just ignore that.
Apparently, a lot of people did.
This is a Cybertruck with somebody put Toyota on it.
Yeah, we're not fooled. Toyota don't make anything that looks that ugly.
Shame over
I saw one labeled Audi.
Shame over owning an EV associated with the world's richest. It's not Nancy Elon Musk is causing Tesla owner to do some funny shit.
Yeah, there's a popular bumper sticker selling now that says, "I only bought this before I realized what trash Elon was."
Oh yeah, I saw something like that. Somebody put a community note on that. In real life, that was funny.
Yeah, Steve Bannon is just a horrible person all the way around.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the MAGA people are fine with him being a dictator for life. And what really gets me is that they're interviewing some of these MAGA supporters, and some of them even say that, Trump broke his promises and he's not doing anything to, help with the cost of living, and that they don't like anything he's done since he's been sworn in. But then they ask him if he runs again, would you still vote for him? And they say yes.
Yep, they just want to own the libs. That's all
Yeah.
they're interested in. You
Yeah,
got to hand it to the Republicans, though. They do know how to fuck with the system.
Yeah, well, this is what really fucked with the system, was when the Supreme Court granted Trump immunity for everything.
Mm-hmm.
About the is before Elon Musk went crazy.
Yeah.
Tesla he started selling the Cybertruck after Elon Musk went crazy.
Yep.
Real life community note.
I like that. Yep. Oh. I don't think I have any Tesla memes.
Well, get out there.
Okay.
Well, this complicates things.
Oh.
T-Rex chomping on a flying saucer.
Is that in the chat too? I want that one.
No, but I can send it there.
Let me get a good look at that thing.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat later today. And this was a photo I took myself, because it's just nice to see that some people can follow directions. It's a grape crush can.
Why didn't you use an orange crush? It would be more politically relevant.
Yeah, well, I actually found this in a parking lot. I just took the picture. That's just the way it was.
Okay, Walter. Quick, who was I referring to? Walter Cronkite, because he always said that's the way it is.
Okay.
Okay, here's what Jenny should I do.
Okay.
Should I cosplay? The
Do
little
it,
angel
do
on
it.
the shoulders. Huh?
Do it, do it.
Yep. Yeah, the little angel says do it. The little devil says do it. And he looks at the little devil. Why are you a girl? You'll find out in 2 years.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yep. Yeah, cosplay is a good excuse for someone to cross-dress when they're not really sure.
Oh, it's like an exaggerated Halloween.
Yep. Yep. It's one of the great things about conventions. And this is one of my favorite classic memes. The angel saying, I made a pure light being for the humans. They will bring unconditional love and joy. Yeah, I got a little puppy there. And then you've got the devil looking to reply. He just holds up, here's what I made. It's a cat. Now, I have two really good kitties. Well, actually, I have Sammy's son, which is the world's greatest roommate, and Ethan is a brat, and Petunia's a bully. And Ethan is really not too bright because he still hasn't figured out that it would be possible to go through a day without getting his ass kicked if he didn't keep trying to steal Petunia's treats. You know, it never works out well for him.
This is why we don't let cats run the world.
Wait, they don't?
Nope. Just a dumb animal. They just think they're better than they are because everybody treats them like little princesses when they're actually Satan. Oh, I can't disturb my cat. Fucking disturb it. Take it, throw it across the room. No, I don't mean that.
My kitties protect me, and they do worry about me when I'm not feeling well. Like after my surgery, they were ultra protective. And yeah, Petunia's a bitch, but if somebody comes into her territory that she doesn't like, she's going to take them out. I mean, even though she's been declawed, she's a very bitey little girl.
Hmm.
Okay, well, should we wrap it up for today?
I guess so. It doesn't seem we have much to say.
Yeah, it seems everybody's kind of quiet today. Not a lot on our minds. So Mage, what have you got coming up?
Yeah, I've got my show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Let me see if I can get a link for that. Look at that. YouTube actually decided to remember her or me.
Okay, that's your media musings?
Yep.
And what are you planning to talk about this week?
I'm thinking probably talking about Time Bandits, and we'll be, of course, doing another chapter of H.G. Wells' Time Machine.
Oh, yeah, hey, I remember Time Bandits. That was a fun flick.
They made a remake. I might do a little double featurette the remake as well.
They did a remake?
Yeah, it looks like. So far, I haven't watched it yet, but it's less than an hour long, and it's like, okay, how the hell do you cram a 2-hour movie into a less than an hour long remake? Sounds like it. So.
Well, and if they tried to crush it down, the only reason I could see for them crushing it down to less than an hour long would be if they thought they were going to try to sell it as a pilot for a TV series.
I don't think they use little people either. Come on, give them some love. They need the jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll remake The Wizard of Oz and all the Munchkins will be 6 foot tall.
Get the Phenomena files on Theta's chat. We'll be talking about ultra-terrestrials, and we'll be using in the Ghostbusters classification system to classify Freddy Krueger. If you want, I can read over what I've got now, or later, or you can just go see the show.
Yeah, save it for the show.
Yeah, right.
Anything happening with your garden lately?
No, my garden's been pretty idle at the moment because of health issues.
Yeah. Okay, Jenny, you have any final comments? I guess Jenny stepped away.
No, I get to think I'm allowed to do that once in a while.
Okay.
Although I'm over my quota today. So maybe I should just not. People take this real serious. What's going on? There's a lot of news things, and everybody's freaking out about this or that. But behind the scenes, there's a lot of movement going on that is going to be almost impossible to undo. And we are going to live in a pure dictatorship, oligarchy in the near future.
Yeah.
And if you can get the hell out of this country, you're well advised to. And if you're trans, definitely get out of this country if you can. They are not going to be nice to us at all.
Yeah. Well, and if you can't get out of the country, I do recommend you coming to Minnesota, because I think we'll at least hold out longer here.
Oh, and also I got my midnight showing with the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So if anybody wants to join us for watching some anime.
I don't know why you guys aren't. I put on a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why we haven't had more people coming in.
That's
Okay,
usually either my burnout time or the time that I'm most busy over at TikTok. It's just the way the cycle of calls goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've still been not feeling very social, so just doing this weekly chat is the only thing I've been up for.
It's not like it's set up so you don't have to socialize if you don't want to.
Okay, so with that, we will bid you all a good day and see you all here next week at the same time. Oh, wait a minute. Almost forgot to thank our supporters. We have a very stable milking stool, Regis, Junie, Skitzcrasher. Excuse me. Kitty the Atheist, and Robert X. Appreciate all of you helping us. And I got a large donation on PayPal about 2 weeks ago. And unfortunately, I can't connect the name it came from to the handle, so I'm not sure who sent that to me. So, yeah, if you send money on PayPal, it would be, good to put a little note in there to, let me know who you are, because I feel really bad that somebody made a nice contribution, and I don't know who to thank for it.
Well, if you do that, you can always ask Perp or whoever you're doing that with to they know who you are, but keep it from the public.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm announcing it here. That I know it's somebody who's in our regular audience here, but I don't know who it was. So, okay, goodbye, y'all.
Good night. Be gay, do crime.